Okay, so I'm breaking out like crazy. But I wanted to talk today. This is something I remembered. I didn't really want to talk about it because it just looks weird and just sounds weird. But this goes back to Mandela effect and some of the changes that I've noticed after I came from the hospital. So if you watch my last video, I explained that, I really noticed Mandela effect things after my son and I basically spent the whole week in hospital because he had an abscess in his neck, so he had to get it drained and everything. So all right, so around that time, like say September, I was seeing someone, well, sort of seeing someone. And we talk, you get to know somebody, they tell you about their life, you tell them about their lives. So or whatever, they tell you about their lives and you tell them about yours. So with this guy, him and his sister just moved into the building, and he was telling me about his life and living his life. So, and here, okay, let me just tell you what he said. He lived with his sister, or they lived together, and his sister had one child, which was a son, and he took care of her because she had real bad asthma or whatever. And continuing to speak to him, he would tell me that his parents have been together for 40, 50 plus years, been married. And things happened, we stopped talking, and then I linked back up with him in, just back in November. Yeah, this is after we got out the hospital. So back in November, we started talking again. I'm not sure what reason. I think I was trying to find a car, and he had a hookup with cars. So, and then this is where the weirdness came in. Let me turn this shit down, sorry. But this is where the weirdness came in. Randomly he was like, oh, my niece and blah blah blah, and saying that, oh, my sister only had one kid, it's her daughter or whatever. So in my mind, I'm like, wait, didn't it say his sister had a son? Which it's a weird thing, because I've told somebody else and they're like, oh, he was probably just lying. It's a weird thing to lie about. One, because we live in the same building, and basically 2 doors down. And 2, it's her only kid. So don't you think someone would notice if it's a boy or a girl? But yeah, so I was like, it was just too weird to be a lie. It was just too it was more of a stupid lie if it was a lie. So those are 2 things. And then, and this is where the thing with the parents came in too, because he had, got tickets to Bahamas and wanted me to go with him. I was like, I can't go, I have kids. And he said, you know what, I'll give it to my parents. They can celebrate their anniversary. They've been together for 40 plus years, married. And then, but now in November, he says his father died, which he showed me pictures of, when his dad was in the hospital. And he was like, his dad and his wife. And I was like, wait, I thought, his mom and dad were married and together for so long. And now it turns out that they broke up and his dad remarried and his mom lives somewhere completely different. So those are 2 things. And they were so out there and so in your face kind of differences that it was like it was too weird for it to be just a lie. It had to be something cosmically that affected something. So I was thinking about it, and I was like, well, this could be another change from the Mandela effect. Things were one way, and then all of a sudden they were completely different, especially with him. And you could not be that good of a liar or that bad of a liar to tell lies that were so obvious, And that right there just it just threw me for a whirlwind, because it was just crazy. And now it left me wondering whether my oldest son is the original from my regular timeline. Because it was me and my youngest son that was in the hospital. My oldest would come during the days and then go home at night. I'm not sure when the shift happened, but this is what made me think that he's not the original, because he was the one, when I mentioned the Berenstein Bears in the last video, he was the one that brought it up to me, because he had read it at school and then came home and was telling me about the bear family, and then I had looked it up. So I asked him, I was like, well, do you remember the bear story that you told me about that you read at school and blah, blah, blah? He's like, no, I never read it. And then when I showed it to him, he's like, no, I never read that. I never asked you that. So I'm hoping the shift happened while he was there at the hospital with us, but more than likely it didn't. And I'm like worried and scared that he's not, the original, because it's just so weird. I don't know what it is. I don't know if we're transported to another universe or to another Earth, or it's just people going back in the past and changing the past. I'm hoping that's what it is, because at least he would be my original child and not some kid from a different universe, which I believe that's what the Mandela effect is, that they found some way to go back in time and to just change random shit. It's not even anything that's significant. They just go and change random shit and make people think they're crazy for recognizing these changes. So, and then it has a butterfly effect. So they say you change one little thing, you kill one little butterfly, and it causes such a huge ripple effect, and it changes an enormous amount of things. I think somebody went back, they triggered something, and all of a sudden things are different. But like I said, I don't know when or what day the shift happened. I just know that when we left the hospital, things just felt differently. It just felt different. And then coming up on Mandela effect, it was like, okay, well, this is what it has to be. And it completely blew my freaking mind. It's crazy stuff. But yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. That significance with this dude. Like, it was just too blunt of a difference, and too much of a huge difference from your sister only had one child being a boy, and then now it's a girl, and then your parents being together for 40 plus years, but all of a sudden they've been divorced for forever, and dad remarried and had a whole other life with another person. So that's too much of a blunt difference for it to just be a lie, or to not even be anything. Because guys, they lie about little things, just stupid stuff. They don't lie about big stuff like that, and you can't lie about stuff like that. Because like I said, we see each other. He's in my building. I could go and ask his sister, if she has a girl or boy, or even his parents, So it was just weird. Yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. Little rant about, my personal happenings or whatever with this Mandela effect. So that's it. Bye.